Says we're live.
Yeah.
And we're going. Hey, car guys and car gals. It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And we are Brewing Solutions live on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. And we are doing what it is that you should be doing. And that's brewing solutions for your business and getting together with the best in the business. And that's exactly what we are going to be talking about today with this incredible lineup. Look at these. Share it around.
Woo!
We want to make sure that
Get
you
it ready.
see who's about to jump onto these microphones. Get this around. Make sure that you know what to do. Tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal and share. It's important that you do that. Get people out there. Let them know. We're getting ready to talk about the event of the year. We're going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. It's right in our back door. I'm just saying, it's right there. I can't wait to go back there, our backyard, have some fun, drink some bourbon, smoke some cigars, but most importantly, talk about business. Most importantly, have fun while we're doing it. And that is what they do here. I'm excited to talk about this with three people that I absolutely adore. I consider them people that I look up to, and I'm looking forward to having this conversation. Are you, Lou? Let's go.
These are some of the coolest people in the business, and this is why we're trying to find a way to jam with them. Because they eat at the right places, they drink the right drinks, they can puff on the right stuff, right? And we appreciate it when we can also see that happen, and they make results happen on the board. They make an effect happen into the community, and they make the industry better by brewing the solutions that they brew. And this is something that we honor and we're excited about. But man, it's not just cool. It's what it is you need to be doing with your business today and getting other people involved. So get this shared around. Make sure people know how excited you are to be brewing solutions. Cheers, because we're excited to be part of this event. Really, seriously, we are really part of this event because we love to have fun with
we will be there. So you all better be there. I'm just saying, if you're not there, I'm just saying you're missing out. So let's go. Let's get this thing going. Let's introduce them because this is a great lineup. This is like the Chicago Bulls in the mid 90s. We're getting ready to introduce our starting lineup right now.
That's right.
Starting at power forward, coming in at 6'1", I believe.
No.
is Scott
Joseph. There he is. And coming in right behind him is the solutionist himself, the incredible Sandy Cerami. And that's right.
And we had to leave the best for last.
That's right. All these gentlemen need to go ahead and open up the doors for this lady that's coming in, the one, the only, Laurie Halter. Welcome to the party. Yeah.
Bring it.
So excited to have you all on the show. Let's have some fun today.
Here. Give yourselves a hand for being on the show. Give each other.
Hey.
Yes.
There you go.
We even have the Bulls red on.
Huh?
We're all coming together.
You got announced last, Laurie. That makes you the Michael Jordan of this show.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
He
God,
is.
it's funny because I thought about you as the Dennis Rodman of business, bourbon, and cigars.
No, that's probably pretty accurate.
Wow, that was great. I love it. The hits are already
Here we
happening,
go,
folks. This is the kind of fun you can have. This is love, and that is the best form of love right there. Them two guys. I love it when you hear them go back and forth. So much fun, folks. We are talking about one of the best events you could ever go to in your life if you're in business right now, especially in automotive. I don't care, really any business. You'll have fun if you just show up. But it's business, bourbon, and cigars. This is the fourth one, my friends, and it's going to be exciting. Fourth one. My son's the fourth Fred, so that is the best Fred. So I believe the fourth bourbon is going to be the best bourbon. So let's get it going. Let's have some fun.
Man, that fourth bourbon is...
It's always the best. That's the one that gets you over the edge, So that's why you want that one. That's the one where you get creative. Maybe have to put a foot on the ground for a moment, but you'll be all right.
Creative is one word for it. Yes.
We've been accused.
That's right. So let's get this thing going. Let's talk about the beginnings of this, how this all started. I like to start off with Sandy. Sandy, what is the purpose of this? What made this become what it is today?
So first off, before you do this, Sandy tells the story of how this started better than anyone.
I love it.
But one thing before he starts talking, and we do this for every attendee that participates, we hand out a complimentary thesaurus and dictionary in case anybody gets lost in some of the words he uses. So Sandy, go ahead and take this.
Man. You know, the great Jim Rohn, fellas, the great Jim Rohn, ROHN, not the guy that called Jim Everett Chris Everett, but Jim Rohn said that you judge a person's value by the size of their library, not their bank account. And so I've taken that to heart. But no, listen, you know, first of all, thank you guys. I'm excited to be here and see you guys once again. I was back and forth on the phone with my buddy Laurie Halter yesterday. We shared more than a few laughs.
Yes.
I'll just say the Seidler is in town, baby. And SJ, I get to hang with SJ, not nearly enough, to be honest with you. We give each other a hard time, but he is truly he's probably my closest friend in the world at this point. He's a guy that I have just immense admiration and respect for. And you two cats, you talk about cool. Like, I don't think you're cool until you get to do the Car Guy Coffee podcast. So thank you, first and foremost. But I would say this about business, bourbon, and cigars. We lead with business, and that's usually lost on some folks. They hear bourbon and cigars, and sometimes they miss the fact that we're really there, as Scott says, for breakthrough ideas and breakthrough relationships and opportunities. But we got it started literally in the heart and height of the initial lockdown with COVID. Scott and I got together for a Zoom on a Friday at 5:30 to have a bourbon, a cigar, and brainstorm, because neither of us was quite honestly ringing the register. I had retracted invoicing retroactively, and it was time to get some ideas percolating so that we could help our clients. It was a little bit self-serving, but really we needed to get our clients back up on their feet. And it turned into another one the following week, and another one the following week, and added Jamil, who was a genius, into the mix. And then we added dealers and GMs and other strategic partners in the business into it. And before we knew it, we had an event about 6 months later, October of 2020, in the height of COVID, in the height of the lockdown. We had about, I think, 26 or 27 people in total show up, Scott, to J&L's offices. And we did the first one, and it was a huge success. People were just itching for an opportunity to get back to life and get back to business. And so that's how we got started.
And I love it. And what a great time. I think a lot of people during that time, either they sunk or they floated. Matter of fact, not only they were floating on a yacht, right? They were doing it the right way because they were able to get into the future, be able to reach out and find people who are like-minded, because there was a lot of time to think. There was a lot of time to mastermind, and really a lot of time to really calibrate what's going on in the industry right now, right? Figure it out. How do we make a shift right now? And I love that you do these a couple times a year, because now you're able to make shifts when they're happening, right? We're not going to just do it once a year. We're going to do it at least a couple times a year. This way that we can make sure we get together in enough time, spaced out far enough to where we could see where we went from the last time that we talked about things, to be able to talk about new things in the new shifts today, adjustments, right? And that's big. And I love that about what you guys do. Business. That's a big part of what's going on. Folks, that's the first big word on all of it. It says business.
Hello.
Don't get me wrong. Bourbon and Cigars is really cool. And I think that
wouldn't be the same without it. Wouldn't be the same
without it. I want to Laurie, because Laurie is a big white wine, from what I understand, person, right?
Okay, thank you for bringing this up, Fred. Like, really, I keep trying to work on these boys to add white wines for the description.
It won't fit on the T-shirt.
That's the problem. I just feel like business, bourbon, and cigars and white wine would be perfect.
It just flows.
I don't disagree. So Laurie, what caught your ear? How did you hear about this whole event? What made you excited about being part of it?
Well, I'd heard about the event before, but Sandy reached out to me, and we've been having some discussions anyway about other things in business. And of course, I'd heard of Scott and Sandy, and I'd seen them in this event. And he invited me to come out to the event in the spring, or no, I'm sorry, last fall, right, boys? Mm-hmm. Yep. Last fall.
No, it was you were February. Yeah, down in
and
Bonita
it was
Springs.
just such. I mean, I know we talk about. So it was so fun, first of all, just like one of the most fun events I've been to. But then also I really appreciate that they're really focusing on the business side of it too, because I think that, like Sandy said, it tends to get lost because we do have so much fun. But these mastermind groups that they put together, and I know now behind the scenes how carefully they curate the groups that come to this event. So the ability for these leading general managers and owners to come together and like really brainstorm on today's biggest issues and obstacles just blew me away. And so really after the end of the show, I just said, guys, how can I get more involved? Because you have the best event going on in automotive right now. This is by far the best. And I think the other shout out that these gentlemen deserve is they're really interested in getting more females and female representation from the dealer groups in. And so they're hoping, the three of us are hoping to really work on that together. And we have some really fantastic women coming to this next event. So that's been great for me too, is just to help lead the charge in terms of, this is where the white wine comes in, boys. This is where the white wine comes in.
This softens it down a little bit for them, right? I get that.
It's on the menu.
I'm a fan of an old fashioned. So, I mean, I like a good bourbon, but let's add the white wine in somewhere.
But
So
Laurie,
it's-
the point is ultimately we want to raise the IQ of the event. And so
That's right.
bringing more women is going to help in that regard.
Well, the name, I get messaged all the time, and the name definitely seems to lean towards men.
Yes.
It's funny though. I always message back, in Louisville, all the women drink bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true. It's true, right? It's a Kentucky
That's right.
thing, especially in
That's
Louisville.
exactly right.
But it does. It brings it. I think the point behind the name, what I love about the name, and I'm just going to touch on that for a moment, is that it brings a sense of class, right? I think there's some class to that. And when we talk about business, when you really have or it's like the smell of a cigar and bourbon together, almost is like having after the business agreement, you sit down and that's what you do, right? It's just something really, really, really classy to me about that. And that's what excites me about your event. That's what actually drew me to your event the first time I ever saw it. I was like, man, that's a cool name for one. And then when you show, and you guys do a great job with your content too. I mean, folks, if you guys want to know, I mean, we got to figure out where they get their content done because it's really classy all the time. And when you see it, it just makes it has that feeling. But you see the people that are there, and the people that I see, people like Laurie, people like so many others, David Spiezak, I've seen there. I've seen some amazing people come to your event, and man, each one of those, and I can name drop for days about who's been at your event, and I'm sure you all can too. And we'll talk about who are going to be there this time. But man, what a place to be. What a place to get information and have fun doing it. So, Lou, I've been talking like crazy. I'm going to pass it to Lou for a moment because I can keep going because I'm that excited about it.
Bring it, Lou.
Again, so much of this is highlighted on the key factor of it all that we're actually going to get. And are you hearing a little bit of buzz in your ear, guys?
I'm not hearing anything, Lou. I'm just curious. Where did you finish 2 weeks ago?
Say that again.
In the race, where did you finish 2 weeks ago?
You don't remember that picture? It was that picture that was on the wall. You remember? And it was the jockey. Yes.
Actually, we should pull
over
that
at
out.
Jeff Ruby's.
I
Yeah.
should pull that.
Find that
We
picture.
got to post that.
I'm sure Lou can find it and get it up here in a moment.
Yeah,
but
we can get that. But as I asked the question, heck yeah, you guys need to see that hilarious
it looks
encounter
just like Lou.
that we
It's
have.
right on the wall.
And we got a story behind it. The key thing that we want to make sure that we are focused on, though, is that big word, that big business, right? We want to say that when you come to this event, not only are you going to get high quality bourbon and a class on it, not only are you going to make sure that you have something good to smoke on and understand the value of taking your time with it and take it to the end, finish this race, right? But it's not a race, right? Finish the journey, right? Finish the pleasure, finish the fun part. But you're going to leave there with tangible, actionable things that you can do for your business and relationships that you're going to wonder how you did life without, that when you walk away from there. Help us understand a little bit more about the value inside of the relationships, more of that white wine flow with it, Laurie, of why it is so really, really important that men, women, everybody get to this table to understand what's happening now and fuse relationships with people that you trust going forward. That's the thing. It's not just the wingding or the fix or the shiny ball, right? It's the thing that actually is together, and that's a new relationship with somebody that's helping advance your visions, your missions. Help us understand more of that white wine part of it. Of man, yeah, this is the good stuff you really leave with.
I love that white wine's getting so much play on the show.
Right, we're gonna keep flowing on that. Yeah.
Scott, it's gonna happen. But no, I think, and that really, when I talk about the event and why I was so impressed, is it really gives you this feeling of camaraderie by the end, because what happens is that they keep it very intentionally small-ish. I'll say small, but I think you guys are up to 60 plus, I think, this year. and there's excursions and there's dinners and there's fire pits. And like you specifically said, you know, you're smoking cigars and you're having bourbon. And I like what you said about, Fred, the feel that you're closing a deal, because by the end of this conference, you really do feel like you're among all of your friends. And so the people that I met in February, those relationships have absolutely carried on beyond the conference. And they've now, you know, I'll reach out to them. They'll reach out to me if people need help, if they need ideas. And so it really does create this amazing, amazing camaraderie effect that really is unlike anything I've experienced at one of the other events in automotive. I mean, it truly is very special to business, bourbon, and cigars. So I think that's a point you can't miss. The relationships are key at this event.
I agree. You know, I got Ron popping up with a great comment here, and it says the roundtable masterminds and speakers at BB&C, you know, obviously we know what that means, business, bourbon, and cigars, right? So are a game changer. And folks, that is true. It is a game changer. So many thought leaders in automotive exchanging innovative ideas, sorry, I can't read, apologize, innovative ideas that can all be taken back home to our businesses. I said that wrong too, but I said it correctly. Right? You guys get the point. But it's very important. When you sit down at these roundtables that they talk about, they sit down and they just spitball. They get together, folks, and they talk. You're talking about powerhouses sitting at each corner of a table amongst other powerhouses, just going back and forth about ideas and being from different perspectives too. That's the biggest thing, from different parts of the country, from different parts of leadership inside of automotive too. I mean, it's just so neat. People who are in fixed ops, people who are in sales, people who are in freaking OEM world, they're there and they're learning things. So that's important. And they're sharing, most importantly, they're giving you tips. That is great.
And there's a correlation that we want to make sure that is seen in the sprocket that is a Scott Joseph inside of this entire assembly.
Yeah.
But it's the understanding, and let's just keep it real, everybody. Many times more business deals are made on the golf course or at the bar after the event, after the class, after the meeting, after the whatever. Okay. It's somewhere where you're loosened up. You're able to be free enough to be you. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do business, and we're going to have the other things that are usually happening when the business actually gets agreed upon, right? Yeah. We're just going to go ahead and have it all the time. It's just, we're there, right? We're with it. Why was that so important for you to make sure it became the message out there? Because for car guys and car gals that don't know out there, the dealer, the vendor, the people in the middle, the agencies, the all the other pieces that make stuff happen together, all still happen for the betterment of the activity of the customer, right? And that heartbeat is something that still gets funneled into making sure that business is put in place where a dealer succeeds, a vendor succeeds, everybody's taking care of everybody. How has it been for you to see the growth from where it started to where it is now, and what you know has been you can't put a price on it, relationships that have come out of this for so many people? You know, this is a big explosion. How has that been for you to watch over all this time, Scott?
Well, I think Laurie said it really best. I underestimated how quickly the relationships would form, and how it's not just form, but how strong they are. So Laurie and I, we've been in business in the auto industry for a very long time now. We've never met until the last event back in Bonita Springs down in February. And I'm going to tell you, I could text her. We text all the time now. We talk all the time now. But it goes the same with a lot of people. David Spiezak, you mentioned him earlier. I had him on the podcast, and it just so happened we had just finished the first business bourbon and cigar event in Louisville, and I was bringing it up to him. He came out, participated. He's been a member of it ever since. There are relationships, and some I consider very good friends, that have all come out of this. And it just shocks me. I've never even had a chance to meet a lot of these people. Michael Poro's another guy, another example of that.
Great example.
Yeah. Roberts, Adam Aarons. I mean,
you can keep going. Arnold Gassita,
Williams, Arnold Gassita, David.
Arnold Gassita is one of. I mean, that's one of the guys that
my family now.
I mean, coming to your one night that I spent there, the one night that I came up for that dinner at Ruby's, I made so many connections. Folks, listen to me. I went up there and I met so many connections just by sitting down at the dinner table, breaking bread with them and having conversation about my passions. They felt that when you're around people like that and they know that you're on a mission, they help uplift you, and they did it. People like Arnold. I could keep going. There's so many folks that I can high five down that dinner table that I was there that night with, and I just absolutely love every single one of them. And Tully as another guy. I mean, what a fantastic, I mean, just a phenomenal character, right? Just a guy that has a personality that just bursts through the seams and just loves to have fun. But when you first meet him, you wouldn't know until you get to start talking to him. That's why that's important. So you go have a conversation with Tully and you find out this guy's phenomenal. I need to get
Brian Kramer's be another example. I mean, there's just a lot of these guys that come in and girls that come in and do this. It's just, they all come with very unique skill sets.
Yep.
Some of these guys, but as you guys said, the business has to come first, because if we just keep having events that are fun only and it becomes mostly the focus is all about the bourbon and cigars. I put a lot of time into the bourbon picking and the cigars. So don't get me wrong. That's
and we appreciate it. Trust me.
Yeah. But if the business isn't there, if the value on the content is not there, this fades quick. Mm-hmm. And what I love about it is, whether it's the dealer members or the sponsor partners, I mean, it's almost like they own this event. Mm-hmm. They really own this event. And the feedback I get, whether I'm meeting them in person somewhere, Sandy brought us down, a lot of us down, for a panel discussion with the Purdy group, which probably would not have happened without this event. And I got to tell you, just the feedback we get on the continuous improvement on how do we elevate the content and keep making it better. You guys brought up the Mastermind sessions. These are every topic we do. It isn't that we just sit around and talk, right? I mean, they're very focused on a specific either topic or challenge, whether it's client retention, whether it's hiring and onboarding and employee retention, trying to find techs, whether it's just improving the culture, the leadership, whatever it might be in the store. And the dealer members are the ones, we'll poll them, and they are the ones that tell us the topics that they want discussed in the next event. Yep. So we're finalizing that agenda. For this one, we've always got 4 topics we discuss plus 2 panel discussions. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, both, we always have the fun as well. So but the content's got to be there. The value on the business side has to be there, or it's just not going to be sustainable.
That's it. And that's 100% right. Because then what's the point? Then you're not really investing in anything but a vacation, right? Vacations are great. We need them, but we all understand that these events are for much more than that. It is a vacation, but it's an education vacation, right? So how do you put those 2 words together? But anyway, because
education.
Fred, I mean, if you listen to someone like an Adam Aarons, and he'll tell you, he goes, one of the advantages this will have over, say, something like a 20 group. And a lot of people refer to this as like a 20 group on steroids. And that is because we don't sit there and require you to give us all your financial information and do all that type of stuff. We expect you to come open-minded to new ideas. We want to look for breakthroughs. We expect you to participate and contribute. You got to be willing to accept new ideas and at the same time give them. But at the same time, when you're in a 20 group, I might be in a group for my Honda stores, and I'm talking to nothing but Honda dealers. Here, it's going to be a complete mix of different brands represented, all different size stores represented, all from different parts of the country. So there's a great diversity in terms of
markets, brands,
markets, brands, and just the different, the sharing, the brain power in the room is much more diverse than what you might get in a typical group.
Yeah. I would totally agree. And I think the other thing that we haven't talked about, but that really struck me, is there are sponsors there, but really the masterminds are made up of the owners of these dealer groups and the digital marketing managers and the general managers. So really what you're getting from these groups, unlike a lot of other events in the space right now, is truly like people on the ground doing the work every day that are making the mastermind sessions, which I just thought was so unique and cool.
And that's something that's actually just a characteristic of this entire event, and that's what we want to make sure that we highlight to car guys and car gals out there that don't really know or are that aware of how much in depth Scott is in curating these things for functionality inside of a store to what bourbon are we putting in our glass. All of these things in between
everything
takes some sort of calculation and expertise, and he simplified the right. We're going to know which is the right bourbons. We're going to go ahead and sift that out. The right cigars, right? Sift that out. But seriously, the business quality is of that same correlation. It's that high, top shelf. The best of the best conversation.
It is, and I love you said that top shelf.
The way that we're doing this, we're going to sip on it, and that gets our attention, of course, because we're all about brewing solutions, right? That correlation works extremely well with still sipping on the solution and having people like Sandy coming in here, infusing together an atmosphere that does feel like you are inside of something that is next level, but while at the same time down to earth. Let's just cut the crap and let's just have the talk. Let's just do the deal already, figure out what we got to do. Sandy, what do you see as far as being some of the bigger advantages that dealers and other people that are coming to this event are going to see now, as opposed to maybe the first time that this event happened? What is it that should be expected now that's on that next level for everybody?
It's a great question, Lou. So the truth of the matter is that Scott is a great alchemist. He just understands how to put the
there we go. Together. I don't know what that word means, but if it's good, I'm that.
There we go.
The truth is, and I want to pay him homage right now. They can look that one up too, Scott. Homage.
Yeah, that's another one. There we go.
I'm giving him a real plug right now because Scott's ability to curate, you used the great word, curate the right content with the right bourbon and cigar pairings and the right dinner environment and the right events and excursions. And I apologize, our landscapers are here at the beach house, of course, right on cue. So apologies if you've got that in the background. But to your point, Lou, is this event is not for folks that are fearful and paranoid. This event is for those that are fearless, that are not afraid to roll up their sleeves, that are not afraid to share and collaborate on ideas, breakthrough ideas. And we had Tony Swain of Coco Kia down in Florida was invited by Brad Mugg, who's in LA. So just think about that. 2 different coasts, right? And Brad invites Tony to come, and Tony rolled out with some incredible customer experience ideas that he implemented literally within the first week of getting back to the store. And so what we look for as we move forward are more opportunities like that, where we can create those collaborative mastermind experiences during the day, where dealers and GMs and FODs and digital marketing managers are having those breakthrough moments because they're sharing incredible ideas. We talked a lot about the electric vehicle impact right now, and I won't give you Sandy Cerami's personal opinion on that because we'll disappear down the rabbit hole. But some of the ideas that came out of that discussion, Rob Ruth walked away saying, I hadn't even thought about the back end, the fixed operations piece of that in the way that we talked about during these mastermind roundtables. And so I think what we look for moving forward is just to continue to elevate. We want to keep it intimate. Laurie indicated before that it's a smaller event, and we're okay with that. It's purposely intimate because we want the relationships. We're in a world right now where data and technology tend to get most of the attention. But the truth of the matter is most business is done because of the relationships and the level of mutual respect between 2 parties. There's no pitching at the event, right? The strategic and partner sponsors that we have at the event do not pitch. It's there to create solutions. They're there to help dealers identify opportunities, and they don't pitch. And I think that's a really great hallmark of how we do things over there.
That's huge.
It's 100%. That's relationships over revenue. That's something that I think that anybody who's in business understands what we mean by that. You know, there's plenty of revenue made with relationships. You don't even need to worry about it if your relationships are strong, if your trust is strong, if the bridge between 2 people from different parts of the world can be put together really quickly. That is what it's about. Relationships. I mean, Laurie touched on that. Coming here, you're going to build relationships. I touched on that. I went there and I built some of the best relationships ever, to the point where now I got a best friend. I feel like, really? I mean,
a
feel
new tradition in our life.
My wife, my
We
wife
go to
hasn't even.
rodeos.
My wife wasn't even there, but she was affected by that because she got to meet people that she absolutely loved because of that event from that. And I have to give that to you guys, and I appreciate you all so much for allowing us to be there that night, but also for us to be part of number 4. And I'm excited about this one. I'm really excited.
I gotta tell you, we did not plan that. That's not something that we sat down and said, all right, we're going to create this event that just informs these this is a byproduct. This is just a benefit that came out of it. And it turns out to be probably one of the strongest benefits, if not the strongest. The right word is what Laurie said earlier, is to the camaraderie. That is the best word we can use to describe how this thing kind of evolves.
It's a community, guys. I think that Scott and I focused on creating a sense of community. Yeah. And you notice we don't talk about dealers and vendors. We talk about dealer members and sponsor partners because we truly believe that when you are a part of the event, it's much more than a dealer vendor relationship. That I despise the word. It's a business owner and a strategic partner relationship that we want to push and we want to elevate. It's all about elevating the interaction between people that can collaborate and work together to find solutions and create opportunity for each other.
I think the bigger question is, what are the landscapers doing at the beach house? Isn't it just surrounded by sand? I don't understand what the hell they're doing.
I need to tell you something. This guy has come past my window so many times, I almost think he's doing it on purpose.
That's how
that's what they're tackling him on his ride on nowhere.
They're still thinking about that landscaping thing this whole time. He's like, what is going on?
This is the level of detail that goes into every show, right? Scott just kind of puts it away, brings it back out when it works.
He's still going. The guy's, I can't believe the yard's not that big. I can't believe he's still going.
You know, we've talked about a lot of people that have been to this event, that have spoke at this event, that have been touched by this event, you know, and it's an amazing thing. And this event is, we want new people to come. And I think that's something that the reason why we're doing the shows, we want you all to know, it's not about having the same people talk about the same things. It's about having new people come in and talking about new things. We want your ideas. Right. We want your perspective to come in here. I'm sure you can come in and help a dealer change his life. You can come in and help a vendor figure out what he's doing wrong. Come share. Because as much as you want to learn, it's as much fun to share. Because a lot of times we have to understand our value is needed. And sometimes it's needed somewhere completely different than you're at right now. And it's a place where you can share what you have and be able to do things. So come out, be somebody new. If you're itching, if you're even thinking about it, reach out to Fred or Lou, right? You got 321 Fred Lou, reach out to us. You know, I know that there's a way to go online right now. And here, folks, I have it right here for you. If you want to see it, you need to go check it out. You know, I'm going to leave this up here for a little bit because I want people to see this is the website right now. Go check it out.
Well, there's a better website. I put it in the private chat. So if you go to Business Bourbon Cigars for Dealers.com, that's the best one to go to.
That's the one. I'll make that happen.
We couldn't get the URL that we originally wanted to kind of keep it, you know, short and sweet and to the point because Scott kept getting flagged for visiting the site too often. So.
Oh my goodness! So inside of that, there the knowing that there's a lot
this
of
is what I deal with
stuff that we have with each other, just like that. Where we can.
I was just about to say that. Like, if you don't know these two, this is the way the entire conference goes. This is the entire event. Is these two going back and forth like this? And maybe Spiezak a little bit in there too, right, boys?
Oh my God!
Yeah, David could toss it with the best of them, no doubt.
He used to do stand up.
That's right.
Spiezak, he used to do stand up. He's hilarious up there.
Yeah, so he definitely knows how to deliver.
He used to do stand up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Now that makes me.
I'm gonna tell you right now. He likes to describe it as a real life Forrest Gump story. And if you ever listen to David's actual story, it is true Forrest Gump. I mean, where he's come from, what he's made of himself, and all the different experiences this man. You would never believe it.
As a matter of fact, let's give him a little plug for his podcast because his podcast is awesome. I've turned a lot of people onto it, my son included. The David Spiezak Show. Just go check it out. It's worth listening to.
David Spiezak Show. Y'all need to check that out. Shout out to him.
Spiezak Show. And we need to have you, David Spiezak. You hear this? Get on this show. You got to bring solutions with us. You got to have
Speaking of plugs.
He is a genuine person, and I love how humble he truly is. Right?
Yeah.
He's revered as he should be. He's honored as he should be wherever he goes. But he remains humble, approachable, and real, and that's ultimately what anybody wants with anybody that they see or hear or gains that level of fame, right? I mean, the Bible talks about you want to find out who a person is, give him a measure of fame, right?
Yeah.
But
you know what I love about David? He is everything you just described. But when it comes down to business, holding himself accountable or others accountable, there's some bite in David.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
not
yeah.
you can.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He's a serious guy. He's I mean, I don't know if there's another word I can use. Sandy, you can probably come up with a better word in terms of, but he is a serious guy. And when it comes to business, he's all business. He'll throw in some humor and some laughter, but
Scott,
it's a weird combination to be so humble like that. But then it's a,
well, because I think that's something that we're trying to make sure that we show culture, right? Is that you can remain humble and be about your business. You can say the truth and also hold hard lines in the way that you conduct yourself. And
honestly, like everything sorry, Lou, but everything you're talking about, he's a great brand ambassador for this show because he basically is what the show is. Like all the qualities we're talking about are what go into business, Bourbon and Cigars.
Jason Rice, I see him. I owe him a call. I was out in Vegas last week for the Honda, this week for the Honda meetings. I did drop the ball there, Jason. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you today.
Hey, what's up, Jason Rice? Lot Pop, big shout out to them out there at Lot Pop doing some amazing things out there for dealers. Love you, man. Keep sharing that news. Keep telling everybody what's going on out there, Jason. You're awesome, brother. And that's the kind of people we're talking about. People that are all about sharing information because they're so concerned about this industry. They want to make sure that it's better than it was yesterday. That's all it is. And as we do that, we're going to get better. And there's, like I was talking about, there's so many different people. I mean, really, the different perspectives will sometimes you're got a little kink in the armor, and somebody comes in and they're able to fix it because they see it differently than you. And it's just a small tweak, and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? And we've been doing that our whole lives as whether with our friends, our parents. Why didn't I think of that already? Right. And that's what happens. You end up getting that thought about right there. Somebody throws an idea at you and you're like, your problem is solved somewhat, right? At least, and sometimes all the way through it, but you're going to get ideas. You're going to come back better than you were when you went there. And that's the whole point. And the coolest part on top of all that is you will have some fun. You're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to throw in a little caffeinated culture in there with us. Lou and I are going to be there. We're going to bring some flavor for you guys. Be ready for some shows. I mean, me and Lou, we can talk, but we can also have a lot of fun. Get ready to dance. Come on, we got to
some of your great
let's get moving. So all the guys, gals who show up, we're going to have too much fun. And you're going to go back with education and have so much fun doing it you're going to just be like, when's the next one? When's the next one? And I'm going to be like, I can't wait.
See that question right there from our incredible mentor and friend, Mr. Matthew Damos. Where do you get tickets for this event?
So for dealers, general managers, fixed ops directors, and then and then we have some e-commerce marketing managers in there, trickled in there as well. We go
GSMs.
to business bourbon
BDC managers. Like if you're a BDC director, absolutely.
So business bourbon cigars for dealers.com. And then you can, if you guys copy and paste it, I put it in the private chat.
I got it.
Yeah. And then you can scroll it, I guess.
That's it.
Those
that are just jumping in, you can go back to this once we're complete here and listen to the entire conversation that we've had about what to expect. Listen, it's worth doing, and it's worth sharing, and it's worth letting other people know. It's worth tagging a car guy and tagging a car gal and putting their name inside of comments and saying, listen, you need to listen to what's happening at this event, because again, this conversation, even down to the banter, is the fun of doing the business that we do. And these brothers show that. Hopefully we show that, and with a sister included, right? We can show what it looks like for a bunch of professionals in this great industry to come together, lock arms, and defend each other, going to the places that we want to go. And it can get really deep, or it can be really simple, but ultimately it's really real. Just like Scott, just like Sandy, just like Laurie. Oh my goodness. It's just so exciting that we're going to have this time together. But I hope if you're considering or you're teetering, reach out to any one of us and find out why it's so valuable for you to come. There is
check it out.
So much that we can say about it.
And if you're local, it's even easier. So come on through. It's not about territory. It's about people getting together and having fun. I don't care if you're competitors. That's what makes us great. If we didn't have competition, then we wouldn't rise up to the event, right? We would sit there and just be like, oh, I'm mediocre. It's okay. What do I have to compare myself to? Let's go after each other, man. I even love having competition amongst me and Lou in a little bit, right? And that's part of it. We have fun. Enjoy that, have competition, use it, but learn from each other and help each other. Because it's not really about, it's about the whole business. It's about everyone getting better at this business called automotive. And it's got to have a future because we're part of it. And this Carvana, we all see what's going on over there because there's not enough people doing things. We are people. Let's do it right. So go to this event. I'm telling you.
Guys, one of the things I will tell you that I think is really, again, another hallmark of the event is that we don't sit there and compete. We don't sit there and drill through, stores' numbers and make comparisons from one store to the next. There was one of our sponsor partners wanted to invite one of their dealer clients, and the guy said no because he didn't want to quote unquote share his secrets with everybody else. And that's just not who we're looking for. What we're looking for are people that understand that to go in and identify shared challenges or shared opportunities in the marketplace. The pie is big. Okay, the pie is gigantic. And so all we want to do is take those folks, put them together in a room and figure out how we can make it better. And so, ultimately that's the goal.
To Sandy's point there, the reality is almost in every business, we've all heard of the 80-20 rule, right? 20% make up 80% of the business, the revenue, the sales, whatever you might want to say. We're looking for the 20% to show up here. Because the reality is, it doesn't matter what you share because 80% they'll listen to it and agree with it, but they'll never implement it. So it doesn't matter. We want the 20% showing up. But what's great about this, and I think Brad Mugg said it best. He goes, when I'm in a lot of events, he goes, I'm looking at my watch, thinking, all right, how much more time do I got? Here he's looking at his watch, thinking, how are we going to get all this in? We need more time. He keeps saying add days. I'm like, Brad, I can't add a third and fourth day to this thing. I will never get anybody here. I can't.
I don't know if the liver can handle it, Scott, to be honest.
Right. That's the truth of the matter. Like, can we actually sustain?
He says, rumor is there will be some Weller 12 there.
Well, Weller 12 made its debut on Business Bourbon and Cigars too. So we like to mix it up. What's nice is Sandy's volunteered 3 bottles of Pappy 23. So that's outstanding.
Absolutely.
So we all want to thank him for that.
He also says that Scott is going to be pulling stuff from his private collection.
Well, that does happen. That does happen. But Jamil is an expert on the secondary market. So what we do with Jamil is I pull from my own private collection, but then I need Jamil to go out on the secondary market and to replenish it somehow. That's right.
That's it.
Also, the amount he pulls out from his private selection is in direct correlation to the amount of bourbon that he drinks before he pulls it out.
That is correct. That is correct, Laurie.
Listen, folks, this is going to be the event of the year. This is the way to get your summer rolling or summer ended and get ready to go into the fall so you can finish that last quarter of the year super strong. And if you're not going to be there, then I'm telling you, you're going to be square. Straight up, they say half your problem is this, the other half is this, your L7 square, right? That's what it is. So we got to make sure that you're not square. Come in there and have some fun. The only thing that should be square is the one that's in your pocket square. And come out here and have some fun and enjoy this and hit a cigar, drink some things, but most importantly, bring a notebook and be ready to learn some stuff and be ready to share what you know. And we want that 20%. I want that 5% there. And I think that's what's there is the 5%ers, man. And then there's a lot of them there that are just going to blow your mind. And you are one of those too. And I know you are. Come share, come have some fun. September. I can't wait. It's going to come fast, folks. Faster than you think.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact. Yeah. This will most likely, our last seat will probably sell out in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a blink and we're going to be there. Scott and I were on the phone. I think it was yesterday talking about some of the things we're doing prepping. And I said, buddy, I got to get in there in August, pre-event to spend a day or two out in Louisville. And And I said, it's going to be here before we know it. Like, I literally need to hop on a bird ASAP, you know?
No doubt about it. You got to get there the month before to get your liver prepared, right?
I hit Betty Ford on the way in and on the way out. So it's
Listen, here's the thing, because I do get people that say, I don't drink. So I'm going to tell you something right now. We do not require all 3 boxes to be checked. All we ask for is you cannot smoke cigars as long as you drink bourbon and are great at business. You're good. As long as you can do 2 of the 3 boxes, business, bourbon, or cigars. Now, if you don't do cigars and bourbon, you just have to be extra good at the business side.
Bingo.
That's all we say.
It overflow it.
Yeah.
All right. Overflow it with it. Yeah.
Correct.
And it's true. But here's the thing, folks, and I want you all to know, anything in life, it's better when you're a little bit uncomfortable. If you've never smoked cigars before, come. I could tell you this. I'm not a big cigar smoker, but the best cigar I've had in my life was the one I smoked with Scott when we went to go talk about this event. I'd never finished a cigar all the way to the end like that. I couldn't believe how smooth that was. I didn't leave the next day feeling like crap. My throat didn't burn. Scott knows what he's talking about when it comes to cigars. So y'all need to just try. If you've never, maybe you tried one before. Maybe it was one of those cheap little nasty Mexican cigars that you just, right? Those are gross. Trust me, they're disgusting. If you smoke them Philly things, I'm talking about like really nice rolled, just good fresh tobacco that'll just blow your mind. It'll actually change your mind about cigars. It changed my mind about them. Now all I want is those ones that he gave me the last time I was there. I'm like, that was a good cigar. So
Laurie, you didn't do a cigar last time, did you?
I did not do a cigar. No, maybe this time. We'll see. Depends on how much bourbon is and white wine.
Did you try the bourbon? Did you try the bourbon? Did you try the bourbon?
Yes, I did try the bourbon, and it was actually wonderful. You had, what was the name of the pro who came in and helped us with the bourbon pairing?
Oh, Bobby Burke. So
he was
Bobby.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I told him exactly what I wanted. I was like, look, I want smooth. I want something that's easy. You got to help me out. And he gave me, it was so good. I can't even remember the name of it, which is a shame because I'm sure it was like top shelf. But it was one of the best bourbons I've ever had.
Well, that's
Bobby Burke. Bobby Burke is the secret weapon, by the way. Bobby Burke is as good as they get. He's as knowledgeable on bourbon as anybody in the world.
Yep.
No doubt. But I'll tell you, it's funny because when I knew Scott's brother before I knew Scott, his brother Tom. And Tom told me that his nickname in college was the Tiparillo Kid. And that's where he developed his love for cigars, was when he was smoking the Tiparillos as a college
Tiparillos. He's so stupid. I love you, Sandy. This is what I'm talking about right there. Yes. Folks, you're going to miss out on these opportunities to watch them two go back and forth, just going at it. And who's going to win? Who's the last one? Who gets the last jab in, right?
That's right.
It's fantastic. And listen, ladies out there, we're encouraging you all, you know the deal. You're going to be in safe hands. We'll take care of you. There's nobody going to do anything. We're going to treat you right. We're going to make sure respect. You're going to have a great time. But most importantly, you're going to get some business education. And I want to hear what you have to say. One thing that I know, and I want to talk about women for a moment in automotive, is that every time I've ever experienced somebody that's in automotive industry, that's a female right now, especially in today's market, oh my God, they are powerhouses. We need more of you all out there. We need you to come speak at these events. We need you to come share at these events, because what you bring is something that a lot of us guys need. And that's a little bit more of that soft touch, right? That's that white wine we're talking about. We need
That's right. That's right, boys.
Here.
And I do want to name drop a little bit, because we know some of the women who will be there. Are you guys okay with me sharing? Some of them?
Oh yeah, bring it. Absolutely.
So one of the things I've been so impressed with both of these guys is their commitment to ensuring women are a part of this event. Like that's part of the reason that they brought me down in February, was just to say, how can we do more? So, we've heard from Liza Borches is going to be there. Erica Tiffany Wells just said yes. April Simmons, Horn Automotive. So the women are going to be representing at this next event.
That's what I'm talking about. And folks, you want to talk about people from different perspectives and different places and different levels of leadership too. Oh man, each one of them has a different background.
Isn't that great? They're all such, like you said, powerhouse is the right word. Like, these ladies are so amazing. Wow. And I can't wait to get their input on the masterminds. They really are going to bring a unique perspective.
Man. I don't want to generalize, but I'm going to. So part of what
I'm just getting the shovel out to clean up after this statement. I have the shovel ready. Don't worry, Laurie.
When you pre-frame with that, you're like, oh gosh, here we go. But what makes this event successful is you have to be willing to be vulnerable during the sessions.
Yeah.
And you got to really be able to open up and talk honestly about what you're struggling with, what you can and cannot, what you think you can and cannot do, and then be willing to open up. And I think one of the things that makes it great is the people that come there. I mean, we're talking top dealers, and one of the consistent comments at the end is no egos in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe women do a better job of being willing to be more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so the more women we can get into I'm encouraged to see what it's going to do to the discussions during the masterminds. And so, I know that generalizes. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but that's my.
I think I have the answer to that, Scott. It's going to raise the level of IQ and clarity.
Instantly. The moment they walk in the room, we're all going to be like, whoa.
I think the point is ultimately that it's not a matter of the number. I don't get too focused on the numbers, right? I get focused on the level of acumen. I get focused on, what's the quality of the engagement, what's the quality of the interaction. And so, we've got 3 like superstars coming in along with our resident superstar, Laurie. And that's what gets me excited. If we had 10, C players, it would not excite me. But, we said it at the last event in Bonita Springs. I turned to Scott at one point and I said, buddy, look at that table right there. I see that table is just loaded with A players. It's unbelievable. And he hits me in ribs. He's got sharp elbows too. And he says, yeah, but look at the table over there. And I said, no kidding. And then we looked at the table over there. We looked at every single table was loaded with A player talent across the board. And that's how I feel about, the ladies that we've got coming now. And credit to Laurie for taking the time to go out and just, she's curating some great talent to come in. I can't wait. I'll tell you, this is going to be the best one yet. And it's because we've learned so many lessons along the way, but it's really because of the level of talent that we've got coming this time around. It's just incredible.
And that's what's, again, heightening the level of the quality of what it is that's going to be served out while you're there. So ladies that need to feel like you can be in a place that you can trust you're going to get something for your value. Bring what it is that you have a value to the table to this event, right? We want to know what it is that you're doing to overcome things. Women need to hear this. You're going to have some incredible, incredible voices to the industry that are going to be at this intimate event right there with you. Come get you something that you can take. And
here's the other reason. We all want to improve the auto industry, right? We can't have topics and have mastermind discussions about client retention or client experiences and have all the men do all the decision making when over 50% of the experience is being had by women. I mean, we have to have that input. So as an industry, the industry needs it. And just to say, we are going to have a lot of fun on this one. So we've already got Churchill Downs, home of the Derby. They've already agreed to come in on the welcome reception and do some type of setup for us. That's going to be fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We're going to Churchill Downs for a thing, and they do an incredible job in their museum with something. We'll probably do some bourbon out there as well. They've got great selections.
Of course.
We've got
Scott and I are we're going to race around the track.
That'd be the one to bet on right there.
But I tell you, Lou, I already had to agree to run backwards so that Scott can keep up.
I love it. That is so Long Island right there.
What we really should bet on is just to see, because the dirt is deep, what we really should bet on is to see if we can actually make it all the way around.
We can actually make it all the way around.
That's what we should be betting on.
Well, that was only the first thing. Then he told me I had to actually be fitted for horseshoes. He still thought it was an unfair advantage.
But we've got
it's coming.
We're going to be doing a distillery tour, one of the oldest distilleries with E.H. Taylor that he started, and it's a great venue. The grounds are beautiful. We're going to be eating dinner out there at one of them. We're still trying to lock in another distillery as we speak. We've got obviously the Louisville Thoroughbred Society. So we've got a lot of fun things planned as well. So,
and what I love point, I'm not concerned about the ladies not faring well. To be completely honest with you, I'm concerned about the guys. Like, I don't
That's
think
right.
we'll be able
I was
to
actually
keep
going to
up.
say that. I was going to say the women are going to lead those discussions much
Absolutely.
better and much further than anyone
Hell yeah.
at the table.
Yeah,
Hell
this is gonna be, you know, with those types of tables and in the names that we've talked about so far, folks. I mean, if you guys don't see the value in that alone, just being able to be in a room, then you obviously don't know what's going on in automotive right now. You're obviously not paying attention. So that's not who we're looking for. I'm looking for the people that know what's going on. The people who
think about this.
Don't resonate. We don't want you there.
Hey, Fred, Lou, we were recently all down in Atlanta for Jonathan Dawson's Pinnacle Training grand opening, right?
That was awesome. Yep.
Great thing that he does. But you saw a group of guys there, 4 or 5 guys, myself, Joe Trujillo, Adam Aarons, Michael Porro, John Blakely, all gravitated and were talking and kind of stated their group there together. They're all business bourbon and cigars. The relationships among them have become so strong. I mean, I feel like I just saw Adam Aarons in the airport by coincidence. I've just met Adam 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
I had never met him prior to that, and I consider him a very good friend. I don't do business with Adam Aarons.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not saying this because he's a client of J&L. I just consider him extremely knowledgeable. I rely on him for information. He helps me. Hopefully we're helping him as well, just with ideas and different things like that. But guy's a great guy. And I just, that would have never happened without all this. So
he's a trailblazer. He's an innovator. He's an inspiration to people. You know what he said to me at the first event? He said something to me I have never forgotten. He says, Sandy, I have more than enough money for the rest of my life. He says, this isn't about money anymore. He says, and I don't need any more dealerships. He says, the only reason that I buy another store at this point in my life is to create opportunity for other deserving people in my organization. And that to me blew me away. I said, we need 1,000 more Adam Aarons in this world because it would be a better place.
Jim Fitzpatrick,
so
you know,
awesome.
what's up, Jim?
What's up,
CBT
Jim?
News, what's going on, Jim? But
there you go.
Adam is a great car man, and 100%. I think that anyone who's ever been blessed enough to have a conversation with Adam knows that is true. That his people that work with him, for him, and all around him, they definitely understand the feeling of what Adam brings, and it's important. You know, I got to go back. I got to touch back over here about what. Let me go back to this race thing. There's a lot of comments popping up right now, but this is hilarious. He says the race would be the slowest 30 minutes
30
ever.
minutes. 30 minutes.
30 minutes. I think you're a little optimistic, Jamil. 30 minutes for Scott and I just to warm up.
Well, that's true, but you also got to factor in some rest breaks. They got to have they got to have a water station and a massage therapist on the backside.
Forget the water. We'll just be holding the bourbon. You know, I'll just be at the different touch points holding the bourbon for you boys.
Oh man,
there's 2 words that Scott and I don't want to hear: saddle up.
Man, so speaking of
Sandy, it's not that we don't want to hear it. If we're out on the track, the things that don't want to hear it are the horses.
That's right.
That's right. Oh my goodness. But speaking of saddling up and horses, so we had this little chance inside of the little bit of the Business Bourbon and Cigars event that we were able to attend to show up at Jeff Ruby's, see what was going on with everybody in there. And Sandy had this incredible moment where he felt like I was this famous man in the room. Sandy, tell us a little bit about this picture that we're going to pop up here in a second. I got to tell everybody how this kind of went down after Sandy brought this up.
First of all, it might be my favorite spot to visit when I come to town, outside of the guest bedroom at Scott's house in Louisville. But Jeff Ruby's is a great spot. And we happened to be sitting at dinner that night, and you guys came, and it was like the most awesome, epic surprise visit. And you guys were like, hey, you guys mind if we pop in? And we were like, pop in, sit down, grab a plate, let's have a meal.
Thank you.
And I happened to look over my shoulder and see the picture on the wall. I said, holy shit, wait, Lou, is this you? So you got to pop that picture up. Because,
no way. We've got to see this.
Yeah.
This is the picture he's talking about, folks.
Is that right?
The one on the right.
On the right.
Which one is Lou?
Right?
Which one
Exactly.
Okay, honestly, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Right. So, I mean, I sat there and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I knew I'd had a couple of bourbons. Like, I'll be completely honest. I was sitting next to Bobby Burke, actually, and we had more than a couple of bourbons, and we were now working on a nice Cabernet. And I just happened to look over my shoulder. I look back at Lou, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Is that
I mean, dude. I remember just laughing so hard.
Lou, you didn't talk about like 2 seconds later. Then we looked at the horse in the picture, and I said, Scott, get over here for a second. Stand next to that picture.
Hold on, I got the picture.
Scott, the only reason Scott got upset with me, by the way, is because I pointed to the wrong end of the horse.
I'm gonna tell you,
Pointed to the wrong end of the. I'm telling you, Sandy's got the.
Sandy, if we do race on the track, I do have an unfair advantage. All right.
Oh man.
My goodness. Oh man. What a time. Well, car gals, and all you incredible solutionaries out there. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We want you to spend some more time with us at the Business Bourbon and Cigars event. You are going to be poured into with some incredible information, some incredible laughter that's going to help make sure that you go with something that marks you and you can use when you leave. We are so excited to be brewing solutions with the incredible Scott Joseph, with Sandy, with Laurie Halter, and all of you. We can't wait to see you there. Make sure that you make your way out there. But you know what we got to do before we head out?
You already know what it is.
Announce this out.
You guys know what we do.
Focus and
we drop F-bombs in this place.
Growing. There'll be plenty of F-bombs, I'm sure. There we go. Car gals, help us out and get excited and share this around so people know what's going down in Louisville. Let's go. On 3, we're going to forgive, focus, and fly. 1, 2, 3, forgive.
Fly and keep growing.
That's
right.
Ooh,
Love it. Make sure you go to businessbourbon.cigars4dealers.com. You guys see it down there scrolling. I count bourbons on top of my head. I haven't drank anything in over 20 days because of 75, folks. So
Good job.
businessbourbon.cigars4dealers.com. Go reach out to them. Give us a call, 321-FRED Lou. We'll be happy to explain what's going on. We'd love for you to come. We want everybody out there that we know to show up. If you're ready to grow, be there. If you're not ready to grow, stay home. But if you're ready to grow, share. Let's go.
That's right. So, car gals, I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And you have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast, talking about business and bourbon and cigars with the one, the only Scott Joseph. Also, the solutionist himself, the one, the only Sandy Cerami. And representing for the ladies of the automotive industry.
That's right.
The incredible, the one,
the only Laurie Halter. You know, that's just so you know, later right here, right? So folks, be there. I'm telling you, if you're ready to grow, come show up because we're ready to grow with you. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. September is so fast, and these tickets are going to sell out quick. So get on that website. Get ready for it today. Pay for it now so you don't have to worry about it later.
That's right.
Let's go.
We love you all. Share this around. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.